Hey guys, it's Patrick here. Now welcome back to another video where today it is that time of year again, everyone. The NRL Finals are finally here and we are set and ready to go. So in honor of that, today in this video, I will be predicting the 2024 NRL Finals series to see who I think personally will take out this year's premiership. If any of you guys are new around here, then please don't forget to smash that like button. Subscribe if you guys are new around here and turn on post notifications as well, guys. So that way you guys will not be able to miss out on any new videos. But anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get in and get straight into the video. Okay, kicking off the 2024 NRL Finals Series on Friday night at Bluebet Stadium. It is the first quarterfinals. It is the Penrith Panthers taking on against my boys, the Sydney Roosters. Now, let's talk about this game. Penrith are looking to make history by becoming the first ever team in the NRL era to go 4 in a row. And some people say they can still do it. We all know that the big headline is that Nathan Cleary is back this week and ready to go for Penrith. And the Panthers are a team that are made for finals. We've seen it all in the past, and this year they are looking to do it all over again. With that being said about Penrith, Penrith are playing probably potentially their last ever home game at Bluebet Stadium before it gets renovated and rebuilt. But why the Sydney Roosters are coming off slightly narrow wins lately. Roosters beat Souths by 10 points in the derby last week without their star Sam Walker at halfback. Brendan Smith at hooker, he's out with an ACL. Also, Sam Walker as well. Victor Radley, he's out for the season as well. So the Roosters will want to come off strong here. With Sendon Smith and Luke Keary in the halves, they have a lot of work to do if they want to beat Penrith. And it looks like the only way for the Roosters to beat Penrith is to beat them through the middle. We see how Parramatta always does it against Penrith. But the big question is, with those injuries and with the Roosters' record against top clubs, I hate to break it, but I don't think that's going to be enough for the Tricolours, and I reckon Penrith gets the job done easy here. Our next finals game, it is the second quarterfinal on Saturday afternoon at Amy Park. It is the first place Melbourne Storm taking on against the fourth place Cronulla Sharks. Now, this game will be interesting to watch. We've seen Melbourne Storm on some great form lately, and they are the minor premiers for a reason. But why the Cronulla Sharks, they have also been on some pretty good form before finals as well. And their star man, Nico Hines, is ready for this final series. Now, Melbourne, they do have a bad record during Arvo games in the finals. We've seen in the past when they play afternoon games during the finals, the Raiders beated them, the Bulldogs beated them, and even Penrith beated them during Arvo games during the finals. And that is not an opinion. That is true facts that I am saying right now. But why the Cronulla Sharks, they are determined to finally win their first finals game in such a long time. And the Sharks are also determined to get back into the prelims for the first time since 2018. But I'm afraid the Sharks might have to wait another week for their chance to get into the prelims, because I just think the Melbourne Storm, on the form they're going Melbourne, I reckon the Storm will be too good for the Sharkies. later that night, it is our first elimination final in Townsville. We have the North Queensland Cowboys taking on against the Newcastle Knights in what will be such a big game. It's do or die for these two teams, and these two teams would really want this. Now, the North Queensland Cowboys, they've been on some great form coming into finals time, finishing just outside the top four. But why? The Newcastle Knights, their man, Karen Ponga, with co-partner and partner in crime, Bradman Best, doing the job in the back end of the season to sneak Newcastle into the finals. Now, this game is going to be big, like I said, but who wants it more? Look, it's in Townsville. The Cowboys fans would really want this. But I'm afraid the Cowboys are going to be too good for the Newcastle Knights. That means the Cowboys go through to the semi-finals. But why? Newcastle go home. And then on Sunday afternoon, we have our second elimination final at Accor Stadium. On Sunday afternoon, we have the Canberra Bankstown Bulldogs as they take on against the Manly Seagulls in what will be such a big game. It's do or die for these two teams. The Canberra Bankstown Bulldogs are playing their first finals game since 2016, and all their fans, they all want to get around it and they all want to get excited for it. They are already excited and they are set and ready to go for the finals. By the Manly Seagulls, they have been on some pretty good form and now they are back in the finals. Manly. Now, the big headlines for this game is Josh Adokar is standing down because of the drug scandal he's been involved in, which I don't really knew what happened. I know he got pulled over and he failed a drug test, but I don't know if that's true or not. But for the meantime, Adokar is standing down and he won't be playing in this game. But for the Manly Seagulls, Manly, they have Tommy Turbo back, and which that will give them a massive boost. But who do I reckon will win this game? Bulldogs fans have been waiting a long time to see their team play finals. But Manly's been on the better form. Now, a couple weeks ago, the Bulldogs and Seagulls have played each other with Manly coming on top by thrashing them. Do I think it's going to happen again? Turbo boosts Manly's chances. Look, it's going to be a tough game, I reckon. But I just think Manly are the better team in this game. So I am going to go with the Manly Seagulls in this game. And that means the Bulldogs will be going home and no 2024 premiership for them. This means our first semi-final will be between the Cronulla Sharks and the North Queensland Cowboys, and this game will probably most likely be played at Shark Park in Cronulla. These two teams have had some great battles this year with some very tight contested games. But who remembers the last time these two teams played in a finals match? We saw the Cowboys getting the job done in probably the longest ever golden point in NRL history. But anyway, new year, new challenge. Who do I reckon will win this game? Like I said before, the Cowboys are determined to win their first finals game in such a long time, and they are also determined to get into the prelims as well. The Cowboys have been on the best run of form. We all know a couple weeks ago the Cowboys beated the Melbourne Storm in Townsville and they flashed the Doggies. Now, this game is going to be good. The Sharkies have been waiting a while. They've been making the finals every year. And I reckon if the Sharks do want to win this game, I reckon Nico Hines has to step up in this game. And I reckon he will step up and the Sharks get the job done in a close one. This means the Cronulla Sharks knocks out the North Queensland Cowboys and the Sharks go through to the prelims for the first time since 2018. And then the other semi-final will be between the Sydney Roosters and the Manly Seagulls. And this game will certainly be played at Allianz Stadium for sure. Now, the Roosters have only played one home final game at the new Allianz Stadium, and that's when we got beat by Souths on Sin Bin Sunday. Who remembers that game in 2022? The most Sin Bins in NRL Finals history. Now, these two teams have had some great attendance numbers during the season, and I have a feeling that this game will be a sold-out crowd. I reckon this game will probably attract nearly 38,000 fans from our attendance records this season. Now, Manly are on good form at the moment. The Roosters have a certain amount of injuries, like always. But just remember, the Roosters are bad in semi-finals. And the last time the Roosters have made a prelim was back in 2019, was when we last won the competition. And the Roosters will be determined to break that drought. And I reckon, not a biased pick, but I reckon the Roosters will want to get the win in this game, and which they certainly should do. That's why I am going for the Sydney Roosters to get the job done against the Manly Seagulls and knocking them out of the finals. This means the first preliminary final will be at Amy Park between the Melbourne Storm and the Sydney Roosters. Now, these two teams are made for finals, with Melbourne minor premiers for a reason. Why the Sydney Roosters have had a great season, but we still have injuries. And that means the Roosters would have a lot of work to do if they have any hope of going to the grand final. Now, just remember, Melbourne was the last team that knocked out the Roosters in the finals, like we saw in 2023 in the semi-finals, that dramatic semi-final against Melbourne. They went right down to the wire. 7th place Roosters as well showed a lot of fight and hunger in that game and almost got the job done. But this game, to be honest, I don't think this game is going to be any different from that semi-final last year. That's why I think Melbourne are going to be too good and ending my club's dreams of winning premiership number 16. And then the second preliminary finals will be the Penrith Panthers and the Cronulla Sharks probably at Accor Stadium in this game. That's where I would play this game for sure. So that means it would attract a lot of fans and a lot of crowd in this game. Now, Penrith have a lot of finals experience on their belt. That's why they've won the last 3 premierships. But while the Sharks would be happy that they finally got to the prelims in this game, with most of their squad never playing a prelim before in their life. This game will be interesting, but I just think Penrith are probably the better team here. Penrith's got more finals experience, and that's what I reckon will get the job done for Penrith. That's why I reckon the Panthers will get the job done against the Sharks, and that means our grand final has been decided. Which means on Sunday, the 6th of October, the NRL Grand Final will be the Melbourne Storm and the Penrith Panthers. Look, this game will probably be expected to be one of the great grand finals. We have Melbourne having the season of their life, leading by Jerome Hughes as their main man and as their star player this season. By the Penrith Panthers, they are determined to break even more NRL history by becoming the first team in the NRL era to go 4 in a row and continue their dynasty. Look, this game will have a lot of hype and a lot of potential. Now, this game will be very interesting, as we all know, like every year in the grand final. Now, this game will come to who wants it more. Now, Melbourne, they can struggle in these games. We've seen it before. We've seen in the past that Melbourne have struggled in these big games against Penrith. By the Panthers, they are looking forward to send Jerome Hughes and a couple other of their big stars on a farewell tour with one more premiership for them before they all go. But look, I don't think Penrith's beating Melbourne here. Look, they could. I'm not ruling them out, but I'm just saying every NRL fan is determined to see Penrith lose a grand final and to see someone else win the comp instead. That's why I reckon the 2024 NRL Premiers will be the Melbourne Storm beating the Penrith Panthers in the grand final in what will be one of the greatest games in NRL history. So, there we have it, guys. Those are my 2024 NRL Finals predictions. I reckon this final series will go down to become one of the greatest final series in recent history, and I cannot wait for the final series to finally kick off. So anyway, guys, that is the end of today's video. So if any of you guys are new around here, then please don't forget to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, so that way you guys will not be able to miss out on any new videos. But anyway, guys, thank you guys all so much for watching, and until next time, see you guys all later. Bye.